As Americans, we often find ourselves arguing about legislation. Specifically, we want laws that reflect our values or morals. We believe that instituting the right laws can make us a more moral nation because the right laws will force others to behave in a moral way. This idea that the right laws can bring about a righteous nation is something that God tried. It was the Kingdom of Israel, and it failed. Hello, welcome to Geekdom of God. I'm your host, Santir, and today I'm going to talk about legislating morality. I opened with a pretty bold claim, which is that when God tried to institute a set of laws that would make a righteous nation, the attempt failed. But how can God fail? Because it wasn't his fault the attempt failed. It was humanity's. Check out Hebrews 8, 7-9, which includes a quote from Jeremiah. For if there had been nothing wrong with that first covenant, no place would have been sought for another. But God found fault with the people and said, The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and with the people of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with their ancestors, when I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, because they did not remain faithful to my covenant, and I turned away from them, declares the Lord. As pointed out by the writer of Hebrews, God decided to make a new covenant because something was wrong with the old one. The people of the Kingdom of Israel were not faithful to fulfill the old covenant. This covenant, which was effectively a contract made between God and the Israelites, consisted of the Mosaic Law, so-called because God gave it to the Israelites through Moses, and two promised outcomes: blessings if the people obeyed the law, and curses if they disobeyed it. There isn't room here to go over any of these in detail, but the Mosaic Law can be found throughout Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and the promised outcomes can be specifically found in Leviticus 26. I encourage you to check them out for yourself, of course. The structure of the Old Covenant means that the outcomes it would produce were reliant on human behavior, specifically Israel's obedience to the Mosaic Law. And as the Hebrews passage makes clear, the people did not faithfully obey the Mosaic Law. This human disobedience caused God's plan for creating a righteous nation through a righteous law to fail. It's at this point that we must ask an important question. What is the purpose of a law? A law serves two purposes. The first is to tell the law-abiding what to do or what not to do. The second is to provide a justification for punishing those who act in a way contrary to the law, either by doing something the law forbids or by failing to do something the law requires. What a law does not do is make people obey it. This is important to remember because it can be very easy to think that we can legislate morality, that creating laws will somehow fix human moral deficiency. However, laws are intangible things, and as such, they hold no power to actually compel behavior. All they do is provide a legal framework for punishing disobedience. And laws can only be used to justify punishing those who violate them if people choose to actually enforce the law, which requires the will and the ability to not only catch lawbreakers, but also to punish them. It's easy to want laws to be able to control the behavior of our fellow human beings, usually so that we can avoid tragedies. However, the sad truth is that the law cannot stop people from committing evil and wicked acts if they so desire. In other words, a law is not proactive, it is reactive. To be sure, there are those who look to the law for guidance on how to behave, and it does have instructive use in this regard. However, to those determined to do evil, its mere existence provides little hindrance. Let's look at a real-world example: prohibition. In the early 1900s, the 18th Amendment to the United States Constitution passed, and with the aid of supporting legislation, the era of prohibition began. This law banned the creation and sale of alcoholic beverages. It also failed to actually stop the creation and sale of alcoholic beverages. To be fair, it did decrease them, but it also pushed them into the realm of criminal enterprise. Indeed, major criminal organizations found the sale of alcohol to be quite profitable. Prohibition tried to legislatively force a change in society, and it failed. This failure demonstrates the inability of the law to dictate the moral conscience of a people. In all this, I'm not advocating for anarchy or the complete lack of a law. I'm only arguing that we should understand what purpose the law serves and how it functions, what it can and cannot do. And what it can't do is stop people from committing evil. It can only punish them for doing so. As Christians, we should be especially aware of this. After all, Christianity is the new covenant, made to replace the failed law-based covenant of ancient Israel. Unlike the former covenant, Christianity is based on a personal, transformative relationship with God. As such, we should be keenly aware of the failure of laws to bring about righteousness and of the need for personal relationships and values to lead people to a more moral life. We should not think a law can force these things. Legislating morality does not work. As Paul wrote in Galatians 2:21, "I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing." So, if not even God could make a law that would make a people righteous, why do we think our human governments can succeed at doing just that? Thank you for listening. Until next time, take care everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this week's Geekdom of God podcast. To support this program, go to patreon.com/Ciantier. For more, you can visit geekdomofgod.com. Finally, you can email Ciantier at ciantier@geekdomofgod.com.